this story happened in Nicaragua. Now, we had previously had a very long day traveling from Costa Rica to Nicaragua. Everyone was exhausted, but the next morning, everyone was going to have to wake up at 5 a.m. to go hiking. So we had a tour guide, and his name was actually Duck. He was a very sweet guy. My cousin had gone to Nicaragua before I did, so my cousin actually referred us to Duck. He was great at socializing, communicating with us. He already came with a notepad and a pen so we could communicate and write back and forth. Now, the night before that 5 a.m. wake-up call, he texted us to tell us to bring water bottles, food, and anything that we would need because it was going to be a long day of hiking. So we woke up at 5 a.m. Obviously, we had our backpacks, but we didn't really have food. We were staying at a hotel, so we went and bought one water bottle. It was two of us, so we were going to share one water bottle. And then for food, we weren't really sure what to do. We had peanut butter from a few days before, so we brought that jar of peanut butter. But we didn't realize that Duck was going to ask us to show him everything that we had brought with us. So we got our water bottle, pulled it out, and he was like, well, where's the rest? And we're like, no, we don't want to carry too much. It's going to be heavy. But we decided to go and buy one more. Then he asked us about our food. We said, well, here's our jar of peanut butter. And Duck was like, what are you doing? You don't have food? Okay, that's fine. I mean, I've already warned you, and if you didn't bring anything, that's up to you. We're going to be back by about 2 p.m., maybe 1 p.m. So we decided we were ready to get going on the hike. We start walking up the mountain. It hasn't even been 15 minutes, and I'm already out of breath. Like, okay, shit, this is going to be a long day. So we continue walking. We're hiking all the way up, twisting and turning. And it's a really steep hill. Now it's a mountain, but it's a volcano. So it's very steep. It wasn't really a beautiful day. It was raining, it was wet, it was cold. So we continue up on our hike, and it feels like it's been forever. It's only an hour. But finally we get a pretty view. It's a little lake view. And we asked Doc, all right, how soon till we get there? He's like, oh, soon. We just got to keep going. So we're like, okay, let's go. So we continue walking. 10 minutes later, there was another stop, but it wasn't at the top yet. So we stopped there, and then we continued on our way. We were going all day, 10 a.m., 11, 12, and he keeps telling us, soon, we're going to get there soon, we're going to get there soon, don't worry. And we are getting just cranky, grumpy. We just want to get to the top of the volcano. We're like, hurry up, Duck. So finally, we get to the top at 2 p.m. when we were supposed to be back. So we got to the top at 2 o'clock. Get to the top, there's no view. It's all cloudy, it's foggy. It's like, are you kidding me? We just walked from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. for this? Now, before that, we had to hike on a cliff. It was obviously very dangerous. We were on the edge of the cliff. We had to literally hold on to the volcano as we're walking. It was me and this one other girl, and then there was two boys. And the boys were just running ahead of us. Me and the other girl were clawing next to this mountain, trying to be careful, trying to make sure we're not going to go anywhere, we're not going to fall. And actually, someone misstepped, and that person was me. So I misstepped, I started to fall, I froze. Duck was like, don't move, don't move. So finally came back, tried to basically hold me, was like, hold still, don't move. I am shaking, I'm freaking out. I look below me, it's like, oh my gosh, I can see death below me. There's trees, there's clouds, it looks awful. My friend is terrified, she's already crying for me. And then actually the tour guide basically made a hole in the dirt for me. So I was able to put my one foot over the other and actually step into the volcano and get out. And I finally got free. I was pissed off. I was like, why would you allow us to do that? You know we're not from Nicaragua. We're not experts at hiking. What are you doing? And again, he was like, no, you just got to be patient. So that was before we got to the top. So finally, we got up to the top. And when I got back, I actually asked Duck, my tour guide, if my cousin had done the same trail. He was like, no, she went up this other one. There's multiple trails. So I asked him which trail was harder, and he said, this one. This is the toughest of all of the trails on the volcano. And we're like, duck, are you serious? So we finally start walking back down the mountain. He says, now we're going to get there by 5. That was what we were hoping. He told us 7. And we were like, no, we are going to be back by 5 o'clock. Let's go. By the end, it was slippery. Everyone was limping. It was still wet. It was 6:30 now. It's dark. Finally, as he said, we got back at 7 p.m. We sat down and we couldn't move. We were so tired, so sore. And that tour guide, Duck, said, hey, you know, I gotta go. I've got another hike tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And we're like, oh my goodness. I don't know how he can do this every day up and down that mountain. The next day, none of us could move. We were so sore. Our backpacks, trying to put them on our shoulders, trying to walk, even just going downstairs. We were going down, clunking down the steps. It was awful. And after that, we did have a couple of trust issues when we were going hiking. How long is it going to take? What is it going to look like? So that was an experience.